Thank you, my friend.
What an incredible accomplishment.
Thank you.
And now this week we're going to celebrate 100 of KMOX.
Yeah, nuts.
Do you ever pinch yourself sometimes like you're on KMOX? I mean, maybe one of the most impactful radio stations in the history of American radio.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't have scheduled my career better other than I always wanted to do mornings at KC. And I really tried when I was at Emmis. I mean, like they were talking to me about it. We were on like big discussions and Bob and Tom and stuff back then. But putting that aside, doing my 20 years at 97.1 and really helping to build that from nothing and then end up on KMOX. And I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but the reason I'm here is because of Nick.
Really?
Yeah. So there was discussions going back and forth like, hey, you're not quite conservative enough for 97.1. Reardon's too conservative for KMOX. We're thinking about switching you. And so Nick's my lifelong consigliere. So I went to him and he said, in typical Nick fashion, he goes, well, I'll tell you this from my standpoint. If I could say that my dad was on the same station as Bob Costas and Jack Buck and Mike Shannon, that would make me very proud. And I was like, done.
Yeah.
Right.
Sold.
Just done.
Sold.
Yeah.
Right. It's a special place.
It is. Yeah. Thursday is going to be really cool. So on Thursday, we are blowing out the entire day from like 8 in the morning until 6:30 at night. And we're all, this is my favorite part of it, is that we're all doing different time slots with different people. I will be on from 10 a.m. to noon with Amy and Charlie Brennan and Costas and John Carney. That's super cool, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Exactly.
And I know you guys are doing the thing about the way that we've covered politics over the years, and it's going to be fun.
Yep.
It's going to be a good time.
I'll be there for part of that with you.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a giant cocktail party on the radio.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think so. Gosh, there's so much stuff. I'm so glad you're here during this hour because there's so much stuff to get into politically and so much stuff happened today. But I have a couple of things I have to deal with first. One is Mike's referencing my 25 years in radio. Today's a first. I've never done a radio broadcast with the windows open. This is a new one.
Yeah.
Like, as you guys know, we've been dealing with terrible heat. And it's not like terrible. It's like between 78 and 84 every day for 3 weeks. And it may not sound that bad, but when you're in a basically air-proof room, a soundproof room and not the greatest, circulation of air, and it's 84 degrees, you're doing a 4-hour show, like it gets, So last night they got to the point where we had this big, like bulletproof double pane glass in the windows, and they took it out and just opened the windows. And Steve was saying like, well, just be careful because, we don't want the sounds of the city intruding. We're like, yeah, if we happen to hear any, we'll shut those windows right away. I don't think we have to worry about the hustle and bustle.
There's not much hustle and bustle
of downtown St. Louis.
Occasional quick cracking noise and maybe some sirens.
Yes. Then the other thing I wanted to bring up, today is our company Thanksgiving lunch. And I have never been a part of it.
No.
And for several reasons. One, I'm antisocial. Two, it kind of ruins Thanksgiving for me because I want Thanksgiving to be Thanksgiving. There's a reason I don't eat Thanksgiving dinner other than Thanksgiving Day. I could have it anytime I wanted.
Right.
But so it's a potluck.
Yeah.
I didn't bring anything. And people were asking me, hey, why don't you go back and get something to eat? Well, because I didn't bring anything.
Yeah.
That's just like a rule, right?
Right.
Oh, didn't stop me.
Yeah, well, of course.
and I didn't want to say who it was, but he was my friend telling me to go back and eat.
But the whole potluck concept, I'm just not a fan of it because the person that you see once a year in the bathroom, is now suddenly in charge of the scalloped potatoes.
Yes.
And you're like,
I don't know what their home is like. I don't know how often they're washing their hands.
I didn't want to go there.
I don't know how clean their dishes are. No, it's 100%. That's why I just ate the rolls and a couple other things, but just the rolls because I'm like the rolls are safe.
Yeah,
it's some money. But I think there were also some wings back there, which I think might have been catered.
Yeah,
and I don't know why that feels better to me because ideally it should be the same thing, right? Like you don't know how clean the restaurant,
Well, I think this is probably still true, but back when Phoebe was in school, you couldn't bring any home baked goods because you might have nuts in there or something and a kid's going to die, or you could be a scumbag. And so at first it was like, oh, how dare you? How dare you? Then it's like,
Hey, you ruined my walk yesterday.
Yeah.
I was listening to you guys, and you recounted that story about throwing your keys.
Yeah.
The whole throwing your keys thing, just because blah, blah, blah. So as I'm walking, I'm on my long walk. I'm going to do 4 or 5 miles. As I'm walking, they had just decorated the Central West End with all the flowers and the mums, and then they have little pumpkins.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking by about 10 of these flower things, I see these little pumpkins, and I'm half tempted. Now, I've never been tempted to pick up a pumpkin in my entire life and smash one. But I was like, maybe I'll pick up this pumpkin and smash it. And it all became because of the reason. No, I did not pick up the pumpkin.
Good for you.
And smash it. But then I walked all the way up to St. Louis U and back and thought about that pumpkin the whole time. And I'm like, listening to Glover is turning me into a criminal.
It's the call of the void. The call of the void. The fact that you realized that Michael Kelly at 50 years old, I could smash this. I could smash all the pumpkins.
Yes. I couldn't believe they put big pumpkins in the middle of land, of these, because they were nice pumpkins. You could take them home, carve them, cook them. I don't know. And I was like, I would like to smash one. And then it was all because you're telling me about how you like to throw your keys.
Try me and me. I can't go to normal people events like weddings and funerals because I'm sitting there thinking the whole time, everyone's like, we're going to miss Charlie. He was a great father. And I'm like, what if I stood up and took off my shirt and grabbed my nipples and said, me nipples be so happy? Like, what would people do? What would people do? Would they talk about it forever? Would someone punch me in the face? Like, what? And so I just don't go because I'm just going to sit there and think that.
So when I go to an event, I'm sitting there thinking about how quickly I can get out of it. How quickly can I leave? And I have a little trick. I shouldn't share it on the radio, but, nobody's listening. I just always ask people, no matter where I'm at, hey, where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? Doesn't matter.
Good one.
So that the entire time I've asked people where the bathroom is. So if somebody says, hey, I saw Mike Kelly, where's it? He went to the bathroom.
Went to the bathroom.
And then I was just there 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that would be, this is I think that's tortured. I think being tortured about taking your shirt off and twisting your nipples.
I have a thing like you with leaving, but what I always say is, hey, how do you get to Highway 40 from here?
Anybody know how to get to my house? Just hypothetically.
Oh, God. I don't even want to talk about politics.
I know.
Let's not. Lots happening though, right?
A lot's happening. Yeah. Did you see the press conference with President Trump and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia?
No, I read that he rolled out the red carpet. I've been in meetings.
Dude. Okay. I don't like Saudi Arabia. I'm just going to state it.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I'm not an authority on Saudi Arabia. So I'm sure that a smart Saudi Arabia guy could make me look foolish for why I don't like them.
Right.
But I don't like that they lead the world in executions and they behead everyone in the public square. I don't like the way they treat women. I don't like the way they treat gay people. I don't like the fact that the CIA made a formal finding that the Crown Prince himself ordered the killing of that journalist Khashoggi. I don't like any of it. I understand that life has realities. And the reality seems to be, certainly in America, it's all about money. It's not about morals. It's not about taking a stand. If we did that in the past, maybe we didn't. Maybe I'm just have been victim to propaganda, but we certainly don't do it now. And so it's all about money. And then they get in there and they start the press conference. And I kind of knew this was going to happen. Someone's going to ask about Khashoggi. Someone's going to ask about Epstein. And it's one Google away. You can hear it yourself. But basically, Donald Trump goes off on the reporters. You're not only a terrible reporter, you're a terrible person. And ABC should have their license taken away. How dare you embarrass my friend? And then he goes on to say, this guy, Crown Prince, is respected by everyone universally. And the Khashoggi guy, a lot of people didn't like him.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And things happen.
And things happen.
Wow.
Things happen. It's just like, Rach, you were watching it with me. I mean, it's just so upside down.
Well, yeah, it's completely upside down. Do you think any other president, even another Republican, would have met with the Crown Prince? I think what do they call him? MBS.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine they would. I think there's something that drives this man's ego about breaking the norms of what we would do. Of course, Putin's a war criminal, but I'm going to host him. I'm going to go see this little rocket man because no other American president's done it. Yeah, the whole world hates MBS, but I'm going to bring him to town. I think that's maybe 90% of what's driving this, because I can't imagine Marco Rubio or Mitt Romney or pick your Republican out there, even J.D. Vance doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say again, because I really, really do try to be fair and try to see other people's side of it. And I know that politics make strange bedfellows within our country and internationally. I know that during World War I and II and all the conflicts that we had to meet with our enemies who we felt were evil people. We had to negotiate. We had to sign things. I get all that. There's that. And then there's rolling out the literal red carpet for this guy, bring him into the Gold LeMay Oval Office, saying that everyone in the world respects him. ABC should have their license taken away for having the audacity to ask him about that, and that some people didn't like Khashoggi, and things just happen. It's just a bridge too far for me. It's embarrassing.
To Michael's point, you really illustrated it well yesterday, Dave, because Dave was saying yesterday that the only thing that it took him to get on board with the 50-year mortgage thing wasn't considering it financially or thinking about how it might help the economy. It was just some guy saying, what if you were the guy who's remembered for making the 50-year mortgage
plan?
Yeah. And I think that sort of thing is very, very, as important as it is for him to be liked, which is the most important thing for him, is that everybody loves him. It's that he wants everyone to be like, Trump was the one who did this thing. Trump was the one who went and met with MBS. Well, Trump was the one who went and met with Kim Jong-un.
You see these patterns, and everyone knows about the Epstein stuff, and that Trump was vehemently against releasing it until he saw that he was going to lose, and he can't lose, so he changed his mind and he's going to support it. But Mike Johnson he's going to vote for it, but boy, is he letting everyone know how stupid this is and all that kind of stuff. Then I find out that Andrew Tate, admitted misogynist, proud misogynist, and accused rapist, landed in America. We were ready for him, stopped him, took his devices and all this stuff, but someone intervened. The White House. This just came out today. The White House intervened on behalf of this misogynist accused rapist. And the guy who did it was their former lawyer, who is now a part of the administration. So we're protecting these guys. We're protecting whoever's in the Epstein files. We're protecting MBS. What am I missing?
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
1965 was a year of progress in St. Louis.
There when St. Louis celebrated.
It would stand higher than any monument in the land.
What's that? Alarm whistle. I don't know. Steamboats, I guess, celebrate.
Finally, 32 years after Luther Ely Smith began forming an image of a revitalized St. Louis riverfront, the Gateway Arch was complete.
And atop the final section, a big American flag blowing freely in a brisk wind.
It represents a very important part of our national history.
It's a new era for St. Louis, and millions of people will be coming to view this engineering and architectural wonder.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by Together Credit Union. Competitive rates to help you save more and borrow smarter. Visit togethercu.org.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
When storms hit, survival comes first. Now that life is settling, Show Me Hope Missouri is here for you with free, confidential support. Counselors help with stress, coping skills, and connect to resources. If the St. Louis tornado impacted you, visit mostshowmehope.org from Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Hi, I'm Wendy Weiss, KMOX alum, and to everyone who's been a part of the KMOX legacy, congratulations on 100 years.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Happy Tuesday. We have Brad Young will join us at 3. Brad's always great on days like this. Think Tank today, we have Steve Ellman and Donna Behringer, so that should be good. What's new in your world politically?
Oh, goodness, just tracking what's happening with the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
That poor guy.
They forgot to pick him up for court?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the feds wouldn't release him, but you would just think this is a young guy who got involved in politics, caught up some stuff. He's in way over his head. He's made some really foolish, likely criminal decisions. And you just wonder, you would think sitting in jail would kind of set you right. Right. And he seems to be doubling down on it.
Yeah.
So I'm observing that, and that's awfully wild. I was thrilled to see that the union strike ended out at the airport with Boeing.
Yes.
And, that Boeing, dude, the amount of construction and jobs going on out there is
hard to wrap your mind around.
It really is. It's, we grew up with McDonnell Douglas, right? And we thought that it had dwindled. Well, man, they are bringing back programs left and right out there. So one of the bright spots of what's happening in our region.
Yeah. And no shade to Boeing.
Right.
It's a local company. It employs people I know. But it's amazing that the doors can literally fall off your planes and people just keep ordering them. Well, I want to be in a business like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, first of all, the planes they make out in St. Louis are the military planes. And, they produce thousands of planes a year. And who knows what contributes to accidents, and they ultimately get settled. But, yeah, the job I want, Dave, is to be a football coach who gets hired for about $60 million, gives it a good year and a half, and then give you the $60 million to leave.
It's crazy.
$60 million. And by the way, that's some public funds that are involved in that. And it's just baffling to me. I saw the governor of Louisiana was involved in this. Like, really? This is what we're doing now? Governors are involved in college football and paying off coaches?
I mean, not to be all whatever, but imagine if the aliens did land and they just observed us for a couple of months. and they went back to report and they're like, okay, tell me about these people. They're like, well, it's all about money. It's all about sports. It's all about sex. It's all about, it's like, I don't think we'd get a good report.
No. And they all just want to kill each other.
Right.
Don't we all automatically pair up into sides and want to fight each other? It doesn't matter. I was at an event the other day where we were drawing up some lines for some ridiculous teams. And people started fighting, and I'm just like, it must be in our DNA that we constantly have to fight. And by the way, I want to give you some props because last night you completed a stomping of me in fantasy football.
Didn't want to bring it up.
And here we are 30 minutes into the show, and you've yet to gloat at all.
Not that guy.
That's very classy, Dave.
It
Not
is
that guy.
quite impressive. Now, Dave and I are first and second in the league.
Oh.
Although I think half the people that are playing with us quit halfway through the season. I'm still invested.
I don't think they're even fielding teams.
Yeah.
This year, we're celebrating a century of St. Louis radio history. 100 years of KMOX. Hi, I'm Randy Carricker, and I've got so many great memories from my time behind the mic, and now we want to hear yours. Open the Odyssey app, find KMOX, and tap the voice message feature to share your favorite KMOX moments. Join us as we celebrate 100 years of the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast.
This should be the warmest afternoon of the week. Partly sunny skies. 70 should do it for the high. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, 47. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, 61 degrees. Some showers moving in late Wednesday night. Thursday, a fairly strong storm system comes at it from the Pacific. Periods of rain and a couple of thunderstorms around Thursday, 66. Same pattern is going to hold Thursday night and Friday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Dave Murray's forecast is sponsored by SNL Coins.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
So my buddy John Moriarty, Joe Mo, was on the show just recently, like late last week, I think, and he did such a better job of describing what he does than I did, which, it makes sense. But John is a financial guy, And he has done every level of it. He's gone from cold calling his college buddies, trying to get them to sign up for this or that. And now he has worked his way into this position where he is still a great go-to guy for individuals and families and 401ks and stocks and bonds and all that stuff. But he has created a subspecialty representing people who own businesses and who are entrepreneurs. And the big thing is that he found, is why he created this business, that most hard-charging type A personality entrepreneurs and business owners, they can't find financial support that matches their energy, matches their plans, matches their aggressiveness. And that's what John does. Now, John's not crazy. Let's just throw caution to the wind. He's not like that at all. He just knows how to represent people who know how to make money. His new book, The Entrepreneur Playbook, is out on Amazon. If you want to reach out to John, you can do it through e3wealth.com.
Friday night, it's men's Billikens basketball as they face Purdue Fort Wayne. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7 on your home for Billikens basketball. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Okay. Someone sing.
My computer is so screwed up right now. It's like not even funny. Like everything just keeps crashing. So now the music's not working.
At least the window's open.
Yeah, that's good.
We could bump with the sounds of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Feels weird going into a segment with absolutely no music.
Yeah.
Very awkward.
Try it again.
I sometimes have to take notes of the songs you play because I'm like, I got to go back and listen to that song. Because when Dave starts talking, I'm like, no, wait.
See?
I was jamming.
I know.
We got the best music in the city.
Yeah, we do have the best music. We really, really do. Man, is anyone else watching the Ken Burns Revolutionary War doc?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not into docs?
I don't mind them, but I forgot that this one had even started.
Yeah, I'm super into them. It's like the biggest thing in my life right now. It's just...
And are you a Ken Burns disciple?
Yes.
Because most people who are love them. Tell me what's going on.
So it's just like in typical Ken Burns detail, you know, and he has all these great voice actors who are doing all the voices. And what's fascinating is, to me, it's always so different than you thought it would be. Like you say, Revolutionary War. I've got like 60 seconds on it, right? I mean, I know like Bunker Hill and Benedict Arnold and this kind of stuff, but to go into that much detail and how it really could have been avoided. We were pretty salty. Like we were pretty like, we're not taking any S whatsoever. And then they enacted the Stamp Act and we're like, F you. And so they repealed it and everything was fine. And then something else happened. We're like, oh, F you. And it was just so interesting. And from England's perspective, I never really put this together. They made very little money from us. They made all of their money from the colonies in the Caribbean. While we were lousy with slavery, they were super, super into slavery. And the more into slavery a country was, the more money they made. And so England eventually looked at the Revolutionary War and they're like, we're losing thousands of people and millions of dollars. And these guys don't even really make that much money for us. So just get rid of it. So just so fascinating how things actually happened.
I'm going to have to check it out. It's on PBS. So I guess you can
get it on
stream
Amazon
it as well. How many episodes is it going to be? Do you know?
It's 12 hours. I think it's 2 hours. Oh, I know. You gotta.
It's a commitment. And that's how baseball was the first Ken Burns documentary I saw, and I loved it. But after you run that marathon for a little while, there's some of them where you're like, okay, come on, I don't need to know what Babe Ruth's underwear looked like.
Yeah, I found with the baseball one, it was great to put on and do other things.
Yeah.
And then you could just be like, oh, Swampy Williams, and
So is it storytelling in this? Because with baseball and stuff, he had a lot of pictures that he could reference. I can't imagine there's too many pictures.
Lots of paintings, lots of reenactments. So, another thing I was thinking, I'm sure this is one of these stupid things I think, but I was thinking about education. And when we think about education, especially like grade school, middle school, high school, what do we all think about? We think about, oh God, I got a quiz. I've got a test. I've got a this. I've got a that. it made me think that maybe we have just, our education system, the way we present material to our students, maybe that ruined what seems to me to be, why aren't we all just born with this insatiable hunger for information? We're just born on this rock in the middle of a galaxy, and you don't know anything. And then people are like, hey, we've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. We figured out tons of stuff. And we'd like to tell you, you're like, no, hey, get away. I'm playing kickball. You know what I mean? It's like, why wouldn't we be like, yes, what's up with this? And how does this work?
Right. But I don't know about you. I guess there's some learning we need to do as children or as young people that are basics, right? Multiplication and adding and subtracting and stuff like that. But it wasn't until later in life that I actually really wanted to learn some of the stuff they were trying to force in my head in school. So, but I don't know that it's because it's extra exciting now that I'm interested. I just happen to pay more attention to what happened in World War II because we're reliving a lot of it.
I feel like it's easier to learn stuff when you don't have to. Like, it's easier to get interested when it doesn't feel like someone's like,
yeah,
okay,
that's what I'm saying.
No
maybe
choice.
Our whole education system was just bad.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think also it's easier to, or like more pleasant to learn as an adult because that's more of your free time? Like when you're a kid, going to school is your job. So you're like, oh man, I got to go clock in. I got to go try to get good grades. And it's just something you're dreading. And then as an adult, I mean, I know I personally wish I would have tried harder in school. So then it's like, man, I guess you just don't realize at the time how valuable that thing you're doing is. You don't know what you got till it's gone type of situation.
Did you guys see the story about the maid who was shot through the door?
No,
Yeah.
where was this?
Oh, I forget. Easily Googled, but this guy and his wife, it was 7 a.m, and a maid and I believe her husband were going to clean a house, and they got the wrong house. They admit it, they got the wrong house. And the guy says that at 7 a.m, we hear someone aggressively trying to get through our front door, and they're not stopping. And so he fired a single shot through the closed door, hits her in the chest. She dies. So castle doctrine, right? Your home is your castle. You can defend it from people trying to get in. But then they looked at it and said, well, the facts don't really bear out what he said. There's no evidence of them trying to like jimmy the lock or anything like that. We think it was just a simple misunderstanding. He overreacted. And just initial thoughts to that?
I've lived in some bad neighborhoods and never in my life, I don't have a gun, never would have a gun. But if I had a gun, I never would think even if somebody was busting into my door without knowing what was going on, that I would shoot that gun. And so I hear it and I don't buy it. But I guess, I'm not a gun person.
I mean, I wouldn't say that looking at the house here, this is the house. I wouldn't say that is probably a bad neighborhood. It's
right.
Looks to be like a $800,000 house. It's in a place called Whitestown, Indiana, which is a suburb of Indianapolis. And I don't see how this could possibly be construed as anything except, yeah, you overreacted, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Debbie says, who the hell shoots without asking who it is? Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that alone should negate any like castle doctrine. You know what I mean? If you haven't even tried to engage with the person and ask, what are you doing, knocking or banging on the door or whatever, then I don't see how you could be like in fear for your life and feel like you have to defend your life. You don't even know what's going on. It could be a dog jumping on the door or something. You know what I mean? You have no idea.
Someone could be in trouble.
Somebody could be in trouble.
I get why it's scary. It would scare me too.
Sure, it's like unnerving, certainly, but like you shot her in the head through a door. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like I just don't feel like I don't understand how castle doctrine could possibly cover that.
Right.
If she's like pounding on the door saying, let me in right now, or I'm breaking this door down or whatever. But I highly doubt that's what she was saying because she was part of a cleaning crew. That was at the wrong address.
Yeah, police are saying there's no evidence that she entered the home before she was shot. I mean, at that case, how does Castle Doctrine even apply? Because you're allowed to be on someone's like, I would assume, like the general public is allowed to come up on your front porch and, you know, like deliver a package, deliver a pizza, try to sell you something.
We can ask Brad. I think you can shoot someone outside your house. I think the rule is basically, if you are within reasonable belief that if you don't shoot this person, they're going to come in and hurt you. I think that's the rule. But this isn't that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there could be, that's why I'm saying, like, I just don't feel like there could be any reasonable belief that this person felt like their life was in danger and they needed to take action.
Yeah, if you look out your window and there are 3 people on your porch with guns screaming at you, and I mean, I can envision circumstances.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely, I can.
And looking at this neighborhood that I just saw the picture, I just can't imagine that this is a tense neighborhood where, oh, well, there's been burglaries or other things that are happening constantly in the neighborhood. This looks like something you'd see in O'Fallon or any
this is a
suburb in St. Louis.
Gorgeous house.
Yeah.
We're just kind of moving on to different topics here in the 1 o'clock with Mike. As you know, I'm not covered in tattoos, but my arms are pretty much covered in tattoos. And it's a new thing. It hasn't happened for the first time just recently. It's happened before, but now it's happening in mass, that people are going in and getting tattoos and they're being put under, like general anesthesia. Like if you're going to have a heart transplant or something.
Right.
And then they get multiple tattoo artists to do as much as they possibly can during the time that the doctors feel that it's safe to put you under. So one, I feel like it's cheating.
Right.
I'm old school.
Sure.
I don't think you earned it. And I think you do need to earn a tattoo. 2, what's wrong with you? Like, people don't wake up from anesthesia sometimes.
Right.
I mean,
I'm not a tattoo person. I have none. 0. Won't get one. But I thought the pain was part of what drove people to want to go do the tattoo. I thought am I wrong?
No, for most
yeah,
people
that's
it is.
definitely a thing.
Yeah, because I don't get it. But I appreciate it and I can tell good artwork, etc. But I just put yourself under. Now, have you seen these guys who've painted like the guy from Blink 182 who've like painted their whole bodies, or even Adam Levine, that gorgeous creature? He is a good looking man, right? Yeah.
Oh,
but he's made himself all tatted up. Did you see the 60 Minutes boxing chess?
Chess boxing.
You didn't see this?
I saw the preview for it.
So So 60 Minutes, they do all their pieces. Their last one, their human interest piece, was about a Ukrainian boxing match that takes place where they get in, they beat each other for 5 minutes in the ring or 3 minutes in the ring, and then they get out and speed chess for 3 minutes. And if they still don't have a winner, they have to go back into the ring and beat each other up until they get either a winner in the ring or a winner in chess. I mean, how sick is that?
It's weird.
You think they'll do that out at the chess club here in St. Louis?
That's weird.
But it got profiled on 60 Minutes, so it wasn't like it was some.
I've heard of it before. It's not like it's not like a one and done thing. Like, I've heard of chess boxing in the past.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was literally just playing chess and then boxing and then playing chess.
When was the last time you finished a game of chess with another human being? Not on a computer, where you were sat down at a board to play chess. I swear to you,
I've never done it.
I've walked away from every game. We've always been like, oh,
it's like Monopoly. I've never finished Monopoly.
6 or 7 years ago, because with my buddy at his house right after he bought it, and that was either 2018 or 2019.
I mean, it's a commitment to play a game of chess.
Yes.
I mean, I've never learned the speed thing where it kind of forces it to end, but it's like Monopoly, like you said, perfect thing, Dave.
Hey, music's back.
Yeah, I got it to work.
Well, I've been howling in my sleep. You've been starring in my dreams.
St. Louis, fall is finally here and back with everything you love about the holiday season. Trans-Siberian Orchestra brings The Ghosts of Christmas Eve to Enterprise Center, December 23rd at 3 p.m. A portion of the proceeds benefits Sightman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve at Enterprise Center, December 23rd at 3 p.m. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Tell you guys about my friend Susan L. Ward. Susan's there for you if you're going to be getting divorced or if you are divorced and someone is taking you back. It's called a modification. And that used to be, about a third of the cases I would get, that you get divorced and you have all your paperwork and then either someone leaves something out. We didn't say who was going to pay for college. We didn't say this. We didn't say that. Or something changes. They hit the lottery. They married a multimillionaire. They lost their job. I am disabled now. Anything involving you and a divorce, whether you're heading to it or it's in your rearview mirror, but it seems to be rearing its head again, you can't do better than Susan L. Ward. As I always say, talk to your best friend, talk to your pastor, talk to your priest, talk to a counselor, but you haven't done what you need to do until you've spoken to a really, really good divorce attorney, and that's Susan. She has offices all over Missouri, 314-783-9400, stlfamilylaw.com.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
i3 Broadband, where in the spirit of the season, you can feast on 100% fiber internet. Whether you're shopping, streaming, gaming, or gathering, you need reliable and fast internet, and that's the good stuff you can stuff yourself on when you have i3. They always mirror upload and download speeds. They have a price lock guarantee, and you get unbeatable value, support, and service. Call today, 877-976-0711. They have plans for any budget, and you're likely to pay less money for better service compared with whoever currently provides your internet. That's i3 Broadband, i3broadband.com.
Welcome back, DGS and KMOX, 2 minutes shy of 2 p.m. Reminding you that between now and Christmas Eve, we are asking you to go to your local Hardee's, get breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They'll ask you to donate $1 to Operation Food Search and get a DGS 25th anniversary Christmas sticker. Hopefully you can give more than $1. Hopefully you can go numerous times. We just got our total amount, and what is it?
$7,800 for the past 6 days.
Okay.
So
not
great
bad.
job, DGS audience.
Not bad.
I'm going to Hardee's tomorrow morning for my breakfast, and I will keep everybody updated.
And we should have our Bissinger's Dave's Faves truffle box coming out
Very soon.
probably next week.
I would think.
And that will be for sale at all of the Bissinger's locations and online. And Dan, who owns Bissinger's along with his family, is donating every penny to Operation Food Search. Great.
So cool.
Turning into Oprah, man.
Yeah. No kidding.
Dave's favorite things.
Yeah.
That'd be a whole list of things.
That'd be a good bit.
Yeah.
Dave's
It's
favorite.
all used off of eBay.
Yeah. It really would
He's
be.
like, now you can't find this for yourself.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
one of
find
a
this for
kind
yourself. I bought this. This was somebody's actual work.
This is a guy in Indiana named Ted who has these Lucchese boots.
Nick walks in with Nick Glover, Dave's son, and I work together. And he walks in with shirts all the time. I'm like, what's that? He's like, I don't know. It's some high school in middle of Illinois. And I'll be like, really? And he's like, yeah, I just thought it was a cool shirt. I bought it on eBay.
Isn't it weird? I know you don't have kids, but it's so weird that genetically your kids do look like you.
Right.
And they I don't think it's made up. They seem to take on some of your stuff, you know?
It's in the DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's spectacular. And he's, Nick, as we have all discussed, is funnier than Dave.
Yes.
He's quicker. But it's an aggravating humor to me because it hits me about 30 minutes after he says the joke.
Yeah. He plants seeds.
Yes. And then I mean, literally have called him sometimes at 9:00 at night and was like, remember when you made that reference to tangerines? I just got it.
I am so thankful that I have good kids.
Yeah.
I say something that most people won't say. I have friends whose kids are so crappy that I know they don't like them. They love them. They put them through school, but I can tell they don't like them.
Right.
100%.
Really?
That's a possibility. 100%. Because not everyone's likable.
Yeah.
Some people are a-holes. And if your child is an a-hole,
Yeah, but whose fault is that?
doesn't matter.
A kid just doesn't come out rotten. or
Doesn't matter.
They don't, but
wrong.
I do think it's
I
not
disagree with
always
you.
the parents'
I think
fault.
I think sometimes kids are
No,
just
I think
a-holes.
that sometimes it is the parents' fault, but sometimes it's not the parents' fault if the kid is like a jerk. Like I know some people around my age that are like really terrible people, but their parents seem lovely.
Yeah, but couldn't they have helped contribute to it?
There's
by,
definitely
keeping the guardrails on?
Yeah, there's definitely like a sense of like enabling, I think. So even if you're not like encouraging your kid to be a bad person, if you're not actively putting a stop to it, you're sort of enabling it by default.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some element, I guess, on that side of it. But yeah,
Well, it's
some
like
people are just jerks.
Well, it's like people who complain their kids are spoiled. It's like they they don't have their
That I
own
agree
credit
with.
card. Like,
Well,
what are you
yeah.
talking
That I
about?
agree
Yeah,
with.
if you're mad your kids are spoiled, it's because he's spoiled. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, have you guys had Heim Bloom on yet?
Not yet.
Dude, this
He's been on
guy's
the Sunday.
voice
Yeah.
is like something out of it's out of a radio hall of fame. He's
Mhm.
got a voice like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd mention that. I was listening to Sports on a Sunday and I was like, who is this really well-spoken, intelligent dude? And then they're like, that's Heim Bloom.
No,
I'm like,
the first time when he did
should
the
have a
big
show.
news conference, I told the guys, I'm like, I would let him be president of the country.
Right.
Like, just he seems reasonable and smart, and
it was impressive to hear him
Authentic.
talk and answer questions. And he's just, like I said, he's got that deep register. There's something cool about him.
and he's only like 40.
Yeah, 42.
And I always marvel,
Yeah.
like, I'm 61. If I lived to be 161, I don't think I'd be that much better. But like to get that good at anything by 42 is impressive.
Have you been able to get past the jealousy of it? Because typically when I find somebody who's
Oh, I'm
younger than me that's better, I'm
extremely
just like,
jealous.
that just makes me aggravated.
I'm
that
extremely
they're-
jealous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're not as good as I think they are because they need to learn some more stuff.
You know who really pisses me off the most are people who are more successful than me, who I don't think earned it. They got lucky.
Right.
And I think I hate them so much because I secretly think that about me. Yeah.
Well, I had a vision of Jared Kushner, but I don't, I can't project myself into Jared Kushner, but he's a guy I just don't like. I feel like he's everything you just described.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
And everyone I'm in show business. And so when I see people in show business who are killing it and I know them and they're just not that good. And I'm sure doctors feel that way about other doctors and teachers feel that way about other teachers. And I'm just willing to admit how small I am.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have Costas I'm sure we're gonna celebrate the 100th anniversary with him.
Yep.
How about that? You rub elbows with Bob Costas.
Yeah, we've had him on a few times.
He's always been a headlock. Let me teach you a couple things, Bob.
Oh yeah, if he were in, I'd definitely give him a wet willy.
Tell him this is how you need to handle an interview.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, buddy. Tell you guys about Michael's Baths. I have Michael's Flooring. I have Michael's Baths, and they're both fantastic. They're both similar in that they do the same stuff that the big guys do. Like Mike at Michael's Flooring has Shaw, Coronet, Mohawk. He just sells it for less. And Mike at Michael's Baths has actually better products than Bath Fitter and 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, but he charges up to 50% less on that and labor. So I've yet to hear from a single person. I've heard from many people who have received bids from Mike and used them for their bathroom remodel. I've yet to hear from anyone who said, hey, I met the guy and I didn't like him, or what you said was just not true. So I think it's going very, very well for Mike. If you're a disabled veteran, you can get this bathroom remodel for little or no money out of pocket. He does them every week. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Discover the life you want at Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. We deliver a life-enhancing environment that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit as residents lean into joy and embrace purpose in a new age of senior living. Simply put, we have your back so you can put your best foot forward. Join us Wednesday, December 3rd for our holiday craft fair, followed by happy hour with BB Boomers. Visit Fairwinds River's Edge on Facebook to learn more.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it's a mostly cloudy sky at the moment, 65 degrees downtown at the Arch.
CBS News special report. A measure forcing the Justice Department to release the Epstein files just sailed through the House. In a 427-1 vote, the Epstein Files Transparency Act passed, sending the bill over to the Senate. President Trump had tried to stop the release of the files related to the convicted sex offender, but in an about-face pushed House Republicans to support the bill and signaled he would sign it. House Speaker Johnson says the bill will now need to be amended.
So now we rely upon our partners in the other chamber to get that done, and they need to do that.
CBS's Torian Small says the Speaker and Senate Majority Leader are concerned about the privacy of individuals.
He says he doesn't believe this bill adequately protects their privacy and also innocent persons. Other people included in this investigation, the materials that would be released would be named, potentially making them targets. That's a key concern for both those two men.
CBS News special report. I'm Stacey Lynn.
Sheriff Alfred Montgomery's Quo Warranto trial is on hold as a federal judge has yet to allow him to be released from detention in order to attend. Attorneys for Sheriff Montgomery filed for his release a week ago, but continued to wait for an answer. Attorney David Mason is focusing on the Quo Warranto to remove him from office and says the feds usually grant more time.
We've been known to try to give a month in advance on it.
Justin Gelfand is leading the sheriff's defense in the federal criminal case and made the filing to have him released.
In the Eastern District of Missouri, this motion was timely filed. I don't believe that that's the issue.
Neither believe the federal shutdown contributed to the lack of a timely decision. They're hoping the federal judge will allow Montgomery's release so the trial could begin Wednesday morning. Saudi Arabia's crown prince says his country is ready to boost investment in the United States.
President Trump welcomed Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to the White House, saying the Saudis have pledged $600 billion in U.S. investment, maybe more.
He might make it $1 trillion, but I'm going to have to work on him.
But he didn't have to wait long.
You're saying to me now that the $600 billion will be $1 trillion.
Definitely, because what we are signing to facilitate that, and
I like that very much.
The president said Saudi Arabia trusts us, or they wouldn't make that investment. And he said we trust them. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Baby essentials donated by the public will be distributed today at the John C. Murphy Health Center in Berkeley. Thousands of items donated by the public dropped off at county library branches and county health centers. Families with young children who experience disruptions in federal assistance are encouraged to attend. Items will be given out until 6 p.m. today. There's a way for you to help a random child in need have a great Christmas. Salvation Army's Larry Hostetler says just look for angel trees.
When you find that angel tree, and it's not just at Walmart, but there are a number of different places where we have angel trees. You take a tag off the tree, you buy what you can of what's on that tag for that particular child, to attach the tag to the bag that the toy is in and drop it back at either the tree or the customer service or wherever you got the toy.
Angel Tree gifts can also be purchased online. The deadline to get involved is December 5th. From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Fenton-based Panera Bread is launching a multi-million-dollar turnaround plan, according to the Wall Street Journal. It starts with the salad bowl. New CEO Paul Carbone says the chain is ditching iceberg lettuce in favor of romaine. He says, quote, nobody likes iceberg. The menu overhaul also includes larger portions and new beverages to compete with Starbucks. The changes come after U.S. sales dropped 5% last year, prompting Panera to put its IPO on hold until it can win customers back. Panera is known in its home market as St. Louis Bread Company. The Dow from Stifel down 261 points to 46,328. We've got a stalled vehicle on 70 East at Route K. That's on the right shoulder. They've moved out the roadwork 70 West at Bryan Road.
This should be the warmest afternoon of the week. Partly sunny skies. 70 should do it for the high. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, 47. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, 61 degrees. Some showers moving in late Wednesday night. Thursday, a fairly strong storm system comes at it from the Pacific. Periods of rain and a couple of thunderstorms around Thursday, 66. Same pattern is going to hold Thursday night and Friday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is a cloudy sky at the moment, 65 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Renner's been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. RennerDoorSTL.com.
RENNER, RENNER.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS and KMOX. We're here with Mark Cantor, attorney at law. Every few weeks, we bring Mark in. We talk about various aspects of the law. Today is going to be really interesting because Mark is an avid hunter, which we're going to get into, and hunting laws and ATV flipovers and trespassing and all this stuff. And as Mark just said, like, not hunting in Missouri is like not skiing in Colorado. And I confided in him, I've never been hunting, and he invited me, and I'm going to go because I want to experience it. First thing I want to talk about, I love the story about your son coming in and his buddy and how much they ate.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, we have deer camp, which is the greatest time. And my son goes to Mizzou. He's a junior. And so I invited him to hunt. And he says, Dad, can I bring a friend? And I said, sure. And they get there and, they're 21 years old and they're hungry. So we went to Applebee's, which is great, in Warrenton. And they have a deal where you get 2 entrees and an appetizer, like it's a date night. Well, each boy ordered that.
I love it.
So they had 2 kids, 4 meals, 2 appetizers, and they ate every stitch of it. And then we went hunting at 5 the next morning, and I think we had too much sent to us.
Yes. Too much Applebee's in the air.
Yeah, but it was fantastic time, and
that's great.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's really bonding and
family time
and friends. And in Missouri, we're hunters. It's something that comes natural to us, and Missouri is some of the best deer hunting in the country. Cantor Injury Law has a retreat called Cantorland, which is about 250 acres. And, I was lucky enough to get a huge 12-point buck during bow season. And now I'm tagged out. I got a nice 10-pointer during rifle season. And my older son's best friend got one, and my doctor got one. And some people aren't even seeing deer, but Cantorland does the work all year long. So that when it looks like we're lucky, it's really because we've done timber stand improvements, we've done controlled and prescribed burns, we've killed the invasives, we've planted the fields, we've cleared, and we're good hunters working hard to win. So
should you, because I don't know anything about hunting at all, should you take some sort of classes or training before you go out? Or if you go out with someone like you, can you learn the trade as you're doing it?
So Missouri Conservation requires a hunter safety course.
Okay.
So the answer is yes, but some people, if you're old enough, you don't have to take it. I've taken it as a trial lawyer. I wanted to take it and be fully informed. On private land, the rules are a little bit different, but I think everyone should educate themselves on safety. It would, reduce my amount of business by a lot, which would be a good thing because, negligence is basically being careless, not being reasonable. And, if you shoot and you don't know what the backstop is and it goes into a neighboring property and, kills a horse or a cow or, God forbid, a person, you're liable. You're stuck with that. So we got to be safe out there.
What are some of the causes of action you see from this season, whether it's vehicles or it's guns?
It's normally related to everything we do as trial lawyers is negligence. It's being careless. Lots and lots of ATV accidents. And so then you may ask, well, is that the landowner's responsibility or is it just dangerous to ATV? And the answer to that is yes, it's both. So a landowner has a duty to warn of a dangerous known condition, but they don't have a duty to warn of a natural condition. So at Cantorland, we have 140-foot cliffs, we have caves, we have rivers. If you're driving fast in those and you flip, that is not my responsibility. I have a duty to use reasonable care. But if you're driving 40 miles an hour, that's one thing. Now, if there's if I took my excavator and I dug a deep hole and I didn't warn you about it and you drive in it and roll over, well, then I'm negligent. So, and Missouri's comparative fault, so it can be both,
Mhm.
right? So the jury gets to decide that whose percentage is of fault.
Do you like that, by the way, the way Missouri does it?
I think it's smart. Yes, I do like that. I think it's a fair way to balance the equities of a case. And, some insurance companies hate it because they could be 1% at fault. But if you have $1 million of damages, then, you owe your percent. So, or 10% would be $100,000 in that scenario.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's $25,000 of insurance. So you could have a terrible, terrible injury and a small percentage of fault that was the other side's and still collect. And that way we don't put it on the government. I don't want people to be dependents on the state of Missouri. The insurance is out there. But just because someone got hurt on your land doesn't mean that you're responsible. A lot of people believe that.
What about, I remember, growing up in South Roxana, one of my first in my family even go to college, much less law school. And so many of the things they talked about violated my country sensibilities. Like I remember Summers v. Tice, God, why do I remember that? Where I think it's the one where a guy had a hunting lodge and he set up a crossbow that would fire if someone opened the door.
Spring loaded, right?
Yeah. And I was like, sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
right.
They had those in Louisiana where I went to law school.
Yeah, right. So what are the rules about whether it's Cantor land or it's my front yard?
Well, so here's the deal. First of all, there's distinctions: licensee, invitee, trespasser. You don't generally owe a duty of care to a trespasser, but you can't set up a spring loaded, crossbow and kill them. Okay. So you have to use, you can't do that. And you can't use deadly force ever to protect property. So, you see all these videos. If someone walks on your land and you shoot them, you're going to prison for a long, long time, and you should. Now, if they come on your property with a gun to do you harm, that's different. But so you gotta use the reasonable standard. So you can't use deadly force to protect property. And in Missouri, you can't track your deer onto your neighbor's property. You become a trespasser. So you should have good neighbors, and you should know your neighbors so you can call them up. And if you called me up and said, Mark, I had an archery shot. It was a little far back on a big buck, and I've tracked the last spot of blood to your fence line. Can I come in? I'd say, sure, I'll come help you. And that's the way it should be. But if you come over and you haven't told me, that may aggravate me. You're a trespasser at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be good neighbors. Let's not trespass. But as soon as you call them up, you become an invitee, which means that you can be there and that the laws change.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way it should be done.
How have you had trespassers? Have you had poachers?
So, we're blessed that our land borders Reef Schneider. I've caught kids trespassing. I have game cams everywhere. And, what I did is call the parents and say, hey, if you want to tour the property, come ask me. Your kids can't be wandering around my property. It's dangerous. I've got tree stands. There's an argument that could be made. They're attractive nuisances. So you go on there and then you climb up. So you got to warn them and tell them to stay off so that you limit your liability.
Yeah.
It's just like, the classic trampoline in the backyard.
Yeah.
People
the
get
attractive nuisance.
The attractive nuisance. Like kids want to go swimming in your, so you got to take, I've put up warning signs. I've got a limestone quarry lake. And I caught 6 kids down there, and I put them in my ATV. I've got a big Polaris Ranger seat 6. So I piled them all in. And I took them back to their grandfather, and this nice 12-year-old boy was telling me how he likes to jump off the rocks there. And I'm just like, oh, that's great. But, we got to have your parents, or which rock is it, by the way? And he's telling me, and, I was super nice about it, but I can't have a, kid jumping off the rocks at Canterland.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious, this is more of an overall question, but it's been 25 years since I've practiced, and 35 years ago, when I started, and I was like at Sandberg Phoenix, and we were representing like ATV makers and things like that. So I know kind of some of the science and some of the, this is what was wrong 35 years ago, 25 years ago. My point is, you'd think that products liability, they would have figured it out by now.
Yes, but they haven't, because dangerous things, fun things are dangerous. And, some of these things aren't even sold in Japan where they're, made. So ATVs, classic ride on tops, they don't have a turning differential. So if you're turning left in a car, your front left tire goes slower than your front right tire. It's turning. Well, an ATV doesn't have that, which causes that bounce effect and then the rollover. And we've seen some terrible, terrible accidents with that. So there is ATV products liability. There's also negligence. So, we handle the gamut of those cases, not for sprained strains because it's expensive, but, we've seen paralysis cases from that. And they're just awful for the families. And a lot of them times they involve alcohol. There's a lot of hunting injuries with alcohol. And you remember the whole Dick Cheney story, right? They shotgun, they were bird hunting. But I always give a safety lecture, even to the experienced hunters, to the, my kids are there rolling their eyes. But you've got to do it because that's what reasonable people do. And let's do fun things, dangerous things in a safe way.
Yeah. What led you to Canterland? What led you to hunting?
So I never hunted as a kid. My parents were anti-gun. I had a realization that in Missouri, like you said at the opening of the show, not hunting, all my clients hunted. And I had a case with a huge recovery, and the daughters were fighting over the father's shotgun. And I had to I bought 2 more shotguns, and I made a chart for like 50 years about who gets the shotgun that rotates. And I realized I was blind to that part of our culture in Missouri, and I wanted to learn how to hunt. And so I got a gun and started taking classes, and I am an avid conservationist now. My mother is an Audubon type person, planting stuff for, butterflies and bees and so her yard is perfect. So I do that on a larger scale at Canterland. I've got almost 250 acres, and, I've got a skid loader with a barrel head mulcher and which is a forestry type of device and I've got an excavator and I've got a high lift, and I'm out there burning.
Yeah.
And so my land is really the way a Missouri forest should be. The understory is right and the canopy is right. And I don't have a lot of honeysuckle or Irish rose or, all those bad plants. And that's why we've had great results hunting. It's also why we have great results at Cantor Injury Law, because we're putting in the work to win, and you got to do the work, work hard, play hard. You got to do it. And, so we've yielded, other people are saying they haven't seen any deer. We took 3 large bucks in the first 2 days. We didn't get any opening day, but the second and third day we got 3 large bucks, which is a fantastic result. And so now I'm tagged out. So I'll be hunting does. I'm doing Hunt with Your Boss Day tomorrow. I'm taking some people that work with me that want to hunt.
Yeah.
And we'll do deer camp and, make the back strap and the tenderloin, and maybe one of these days I'll have you out there.
Yeah,
Dave.
I would legitimately, truly like to do it. Something I've never done in my life, and I need to experience it. How do people find you?
So we're at cantorinjurylaw.com. So you can visit us on the web, or 314-628-9999. You've probably seen our signs for Cantor Injury Law and our signs for Canterland. We're the only law firm that I'm aware of in the country with its own retreat center. And you can't get more local than that. So our theme, it used to be get the big bucks. Don't take a little doe, get the big bucks. And it's hunting season, so I'm saying that now. But you see the sign for Count on Cantor. And I think your audience can count on Cantor. We're here. We're local. We won't ever sell them out. And I hope that if they need a great lawyer advocating for them, that they call Cantor Injury Law.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hi, I'm Amy Mark Scores. The Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign provides critical social services to over 150,000 St. Louisans in need annually, and you can help. Have just 2 hours? A short volunteer shift as a bell ringer can raise enough money to feed a family of 4 for a week. Support neighbors in need and help the Salvation Army deliver on its promise of doing the most good right here in St. Louis. When you give with joy, you help transform lives. Visit registertoring.com.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, been with me for 25 years. Simple, simple, simple. The easiest client I've ever had. Talk to Mike a couple times a year. He is just salt of the earth. He's a big rock and roll guy, super into Kiss, really into Ace Frehley. I mean, I just love Mike, and you will too. And he makes it so simple. He said, like, Dave, I didn't go into the flooring business to have a complicated life. I went into it because it's simple. They get the same products, Shaw, Coronet, Mohawk, that all the other competitors do from the same guy in the same truck. And then we mark it up. We just mark it up less. We give you better customer service and better installation. It's just that simple. 3 locations around town. To find the one nearest to you, go to michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Looking for some iced caffeine, left you in the cold. No one knows why brown water costs as much as liquid gold. Told him your name was Brian, why does this cup say Nicole? But then you found paradise in your cup at the Quick Trip. No regrets to start your day.
Hello, St. Louis. Proud son of St. Louis, John Hamm here, wishing KMOX a happy 100th Earth Day, a centennial of being the voice of St. Louis.
From the midnight sun where the hot spring flows, Ember of the Gulf will drive our ships to new land, fight the horn, sing and cry, Valhalla, I am coming.
Welcome back, DG. Ask Wheeler will be back tomorrow. I'm sure you've missed him. I missed him.
I miss him. He's bringing fudge from Buc-ee's tomorrow.
Did he say where he was?
No, I don't think so.
Is that the biggest, thickest shadow you've ever seen anyone cast?
I'm like, oh, that's Wheeler.
Yeah, I wanted to say it, but I felt like he'd take it the wrong way.
I don't think he takes things the
I don't
wrong
think
way.
he takes things the wrong way. No, maybe I just meant it the wrong way. Maybe that's what it is. What's your thing about being woke?
Okay, so the reason I put on the sheet, like, I guess I'm not woke. Okay, have you heard this TikTok sound of Lois from Family Guy saying that?
Yes.
Okay, so that I was just trying to make a joke, but I saw on the New York Post that some experts out there, the experts in Australia, as far as I know, this is not happening here in the U.S., but experts in Australia are saying that parents should ask their little babies for consent before changing their diapers. I think the problem there is that babies can't understand human language and are kind of incapable of giving consent.
It's a barrier.
It's a little bit of a barrier. Look, I agree with them in a little bit of a sense where they're like, yeah, just, talk to your baby, let them know, like, I'm about to change your diaper. This is what's happening. I think that probably can be like very useful and just like a good bonding exercise for you and the child. But as far as like asking the child, is it okay if I change your diaper right now? That feels like a horrible idea because, okay, let's say the baby has reached the stage where they can say yes or no. They do know what you're saying. A lot of kids don't like to admit that they just went poo-poo in their diaper, and they're not going to want you to change the diaper. So putting the responsibility on the kid to decide whether or not like they're going to have a horrible diaper rash or not, I don't feel like it's a good idea. I also saw a story recently. Jake says if a baby says no, it means no. Sure, but if the baby needs to be changed and says no, you should probably still change the baby. I also saw a story recently, too, that some vets are suggesting that you get consent from your cat before doing any sort of care for your cat. Like if you need to clean your cat's ears or something, you need to make sure the cat is totally fine with it before you proceed.
And how do you do that?
I guess just paying attention to their body language. And if they try to get away from you, you should just let them go. And again, I think everyone's heart is in the right place here. Like, yeah, you don't want to inflict like fear or pain upon these innocent creatures. But I mean, isn't that the point of being a pet owner or a parent? Is it's your responsibility to do these things for these innocents that they're not capable of doing themselves, or maybe they can't understand that it needs to happen?
Jill says hashtag meow too.
So yeah, I mean, look, I try to see where everybody's coming from, and I think there's a little bit of a point to be made here. There's something we can glean from it, but ultimately, like, guys, we can't get consent from a cat before you.
I was going to say, I might disagree with you on one point. I don't know that people who think you should get your cat's consent before you trim their nails have their heart in the right place. I think there are right-wing, complete a-holes that don't care about anyone but themselves and are discriminatory, and they're just awful people. I think on the left, you have a similar bunch of people who just go out of their way to try to think of the stupidest, dumbass things in the world that you're not doing so that they can look better than you and make you look stupid because you didn't ask your baby if it was okay to wipe their butt.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Sounds like your sleigh's about to get prepped for the season. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we don't just change your oil. We also check your tire pressure, battery, wipers, and lights. Just stay cozy in your car and let our trained pros handle the rest. No appointment needed.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast.
This should be the warmest afternoon of the week. Partly sunny skies. 70 should do it for the high. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, 47. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, 61 degrees. Some showers moving in late Wednesday night. Thursday, a fairly strong storm system comes at it from the Pacific. Periods of rain and a couple of thunderstorms around Thursday, 66. Same pattern is going to hold Thursday night and Friday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-548-4040. 800-548-4040. That's 800-548-4040.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for Game Day Men's Health. You can find him at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. If you're struggling with anything, low energy, performance issues in the bedroom, weight gain, check out GameDayMen'sHealth.com and schedule the appointment to get in there. Look, they really, I can say this from experience because I've been with them for 6-7 months now. The results have been phenomenal across the board for me. I'm using the testosterone replacement therapy because my numbers were low. It's working great. But look, they know that you're busy. They will get things done in a way that respects your time. So in 1 hour, you can get test results, full consultation, and start to figure out a game plan. And it's not from cutting corners or doing things fast. It's that they do everything in-house. They have in-house state-of-the-art lab. They got a really efficient process. And when you go in for a weekly visit or a check-in, it's always done quick. They know you're coming. They see you. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? Come on in. We'll take care of it today. Boom, you're out in 2 or 3 minutes. So if you're worried about time or timing or scheduling, it's super easy. And they're really making a lot of gains in medical weight loss. They have their own pharmacy, which allows them to offer very cool treatments, all of the same things you can think of, FDA-certified pharmacy that can get things done, again, the right way, cleanly, fast, and with board-certified medical professionals on top of everything. Check it out. It's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. You can get back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health.
Purina presents A Century of Service.
This is KMOX Radio.
KMOX is celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining St. Louis. On November 20th, KMOX Day, we will celebrate the KMOX pioneers.
This is Jim White for your information.
Legendary voices.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Groundbreaking programming.
KMOX Radio. We're at your service.
And unforgettable moments that have defined a century of broadcasting.
We did locate Ben this afternoon, and we've also located Sean Harnbeck.
Hear from current and former KMOX personalities who have helped make this station the preeminent news, information, and sports brand in America.
Oh, yeah.
A century of service, celebrating 100 years of KMOX, is presented by Purina, your pet, our passion, on the voice of St. Louis. KMOX. Get ready for Thursday night football as the Bills face the Texans.
St. Ben Cancer Center game time, 6:30. St. Ben Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Bills, the Texans, on America's Sports Voice, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 234. Wheels will be back tomorrow. Thursday is going to be 11:20 day, KMOX day. And so from about 8 in the morning until 6:30 in the evening. Is that our first sirens?
I think so.
There we go. Nice. We have the windows open in here because that's what you do to a professional broadcast studio. The sounds of St. Louis. Love it. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Thursday is KMOX day. I will be on from 10 a.m. to noon with Amy Markscores and Charlie Brennan and Bob Costas and John Carney. And then I'll be hanging out pretty much the rest of the day. I may make it on a couple more times after that. We will see. But it's just going to be a bunch of the OGs from the past 25, 30, 40, 50 years and the current broadcasters. And it should be a lot of fun and kind of chaotic and mayhem, which it's just going to be that way. Tomorrow morning at 8 in the morning, Ackerman and I are going to be on Fox 2 talking about it. So if you want to watch that, cool. What else? That's about it. Next week's Thanksgiving.
What time are you on Fox tomorrow?
I think 8:10.
Ooh,
something like that.
Fun.
You can come with me. You ever been on television?
I have been on television one time when I was like 5 years old, 6 years old.
When you got kicked out of the pool for not wearing a top?
No, we couldn't get the news to come out and cover that one.
Yeah, that's sad.
They had come out. There was some sort of very inspiring thing going on at my Little League game. Had nothing to do with me or my team. It was like the other team had like a girl playing on it or something, and that was like a big deal. You know, it was like a first for that particular team or league or whatever. And so there's a shot where the cameraman could not have possibly planned this, but he really knocked it out of the park, where he's having a beautiful shot of the field. And then right in the middle of the shot, we meet dead in the middle. I have gone out to the field, but forgotten my glove. So my disappointed father has to meet me halfway in the middle of the shot to hand off the glove.
That's pretty classic.
I go, thanks, Dad.
That's kind of shady to include. I mean, it's not like it was a live shot.
Look at this kid.
It was not a live
That's
shot.
so rude, actually. Look at this little dummy. He forgot his glove.
When my poor father watched it back, he was like, oh, they caught that, huh?
My first time on television also involved subterfuge. My class went to the zoo, and we had our little bring along lunch, right, with your Shasta grape soda and your warm tuna fish sandwich and your Pringles. And we ate like right outside the zoo, and then it was time to clean up. So, of course, we got in line. We threw everything in the trash can. And I guess the news just happened to be there doing something else, and they filmed that and did a story about how we were cleaning up the park.
Nice.
And awesome. Even in like fifth grade, I remember thinking like, that's some bull crap. That didn't happen.
I love that.
Rach, you've been on TV.
Just whenever they filmed you here for the Notice story. That's the only time I've ever been on TV.
And
I'm just like running the board. I didn't say anything or anything, but it was still quite exciting when I saw the video later.
She's being modest. She was one of the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Yeah, they just had BravoCon this past weekend, and so there's a lot of drama to catch up.
Brian wants to know if this was long-haired Andrew playing baseball.
That's a great question. It might have been. It may well have been. I might have been the girl that they were.
That's why you were on.
Looking to cover.
Like, look, she forgot her glove. She has beautiful hair, though. Did I see that Jake Paul's fighting someone else?
Yeah, he's fighting another.
Okay,
another big guy.
Real question: when are we going to start getting tired of stuff? Like, I've lived several phases, and every phase has this in common: everyone got tired of that phase, and then you moved on to a new one. This one's really hanging on.
It's hanging on. But so many people watched the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
I guess.
Like so many. And I mean, I guess you could argue that was more for Tyson than Paul, maybe. But
so Anthony Joshua is the gentleman that Jake Paul will be fighting. I don't really know I don't know anything about boxing. So
he's a two-time heavyweight champ.
The reason
who's not fought in years.
Oh, he's 36.
But the reason that's the reason that this one is supposed to be a bigger deal, because Jake Paul has made his name fighting
has-beens who fake it.
Yeah, it's traditionally been people like Mike Tyson, who is, one of the greatest boxers of all time, but is in his 50s and hasn't, boxed in 25 years or whatever. So this is a guy who's only been out of the game for like a little bit, and he's much younger than that.
Do we know how Jake Paul got into boxing?
I think
he just decided he wanted to do it and then started training.
Decided that he wanted to.
Man, it must be nice to be rich and famous, because then it's just like, hey, I want to be a boxer now. And then everyone's like, okay, here's your Netflix special.
Then there was another YouTuber that talked bad on him for it. And then they ended up fighting. And that's what kind of launched this whole Oh, if we just live stream this stuff, like everybody on Earth watches it, apparently.
I need to get a ruling from you guys and the people online. So I hate raking leaves. I will usually hire someone to rake the leaves. I think that's a good use of my money. I don't want to do it. You need the money. I'm going to pay you. You're going to do it. But I haven't done it yet. I love the aesthetic of leaves. As I've told you, when leaves blow into my home, I don't pick them up right away. There's something, I don't know, cabiny about that maybe. Yeah. But just in general, I'm no botanist, so I don't know whether it's good or bad for your lawn or whatever, and I really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm looking at this article here that says that it's actually bad for your yard. It deprives your soil of valuable nutrients.
To rake the leaves.
To rake them up, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Just leave them.
It's a part of the natural cycle of the world. The leaves fall, they rot and compost and feed the,
You know who would know about
grass.
this is Dave Murray.
Yes.
Dave Murray will have the answer.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, if Dave was here, what I just said, he'd be like, no, that's all wrong.
Just do the opposite of that.
I can't wait to talk to Brad. He's coming up. Brad Young is coming up at 3. Brad is probably my... You notice how I catch myself about to say things? I was going to say Brad's probably my most reasonable conservative friend, but that could also be like ChatGPT agreeing with you because I find Brad very reasonable and he typically agrees with things I say. So maybe that's why he's my favorite conservative.
Yeah, I'm glad you said something like that, Dave, because sometimes on the show we'll be talking about like, oh, and they were so reasonable. And then I have that same thought of like, well,
because they agreed with me.
Right. Is it reason or is it just, oh, I'm vibing with what this person is saying? Brad Young is a very reasonable person, I think, to anyone. He's not like going to fly off the handle. He's not emotional. He's thinking about things. It seems very clinically. So I think that definitely applies to him. But yeah, I've caught myself doing that before too. Like this guy was nothing but reasonable. It's like, well, I think they just agree with me. It's kind of an unfair standard.
Right.
I'm the standard of reasonableness. I don't think so.
But that's true, right? I mean, that's something I've been saying for 25 years on the air is that just by definition, because we're all autonomous skin bags with our own floating 2-pound brain in the darkness of a skull, trying to figure our way through electric bills and relationships and watch that rash. And, but we're just all kind of doing our best. But I think that who doesn't think they're reasonable?
Right.
Everyone thinks they're reasonable. Kim Jong-un doesn't wake up at 4 a.m. and go like, I'm a rotten, evil guy. He thinks he's doing everything right.
I don't know. There are times where I'm like, oh, I was wrong. I was dead wrong in that situation. In the moment, I can't recognize it, but like I'm able to reflect later, and see where I went astray. But yeah, I think typically, most people do just think like, look, I'm over here trying my best. Will we give ourselves, it's weird because sometimes it's like we're harder on ourselves than we are on other people. But then other times it's like, well, I know what's in my heart and I know I'm coming from a pure place. And then sometimes I think that leads you to do bad things because it's like you can just rationalize whatever you want because you're the main character and you're the good person, right? So there's always a reason behind I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, if the guy down the street does it, terrible.
Yeah. See, I think that it's very valuable and warning, this is going to be a little bit of patting myself on the back, but I think it's a good thing in life when you can look at people you disagree with and empathize. For example, as everyone knows who listens to the show, I'm an agnostic. I'm not a believer in any major religion. I don't believe that they're true. However, for about 10 years of my life, I was so religious that I was going to leave college and go to Bible school in Springfield, Missouri, and become a pastor. I remember being completely sure about God, completely sure. And I was, in my early 20s. I wasn't a little kid. So when people disagree with me about religion, I don't feel the need to like eviscerate them. Not like I could, and I'm just taking it easy on him. I just like, I get it. I was you. I understand. And when it comes to politics, Rachel, I just had this discussion today. I am anti-MAGA. I do not like Donald Trump. I do not trust Donald Trump. I think he's pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. But I voted for him in 2016 after he said, grab him by the pee. Because I was so deeply into the whole thing down at 97.1.
It felt like the right thing to do.
It felt like the right thing to do. And now I look back on that and I'm like, how could you have done that? But I did it. Mm-hmm. And so I have to give some grace to people who disagree with me politically and religiously. And I guess every other way, I think that's valuable.
Yeah, I think it's valuable too. And I think from time to time on the show, we're a little guilty of being like, can you believe this? Can you believe people really think like this? But we don't take it to a level ever. I don't think anyway, where it's like you're being insulting or you're painting the other side as like some sort of enemy. And that's where it gets really messy and really bad. When, like you said, Dave, you just remove all of that empathy. I can't tell you how many things I've seen on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, the past couple of days where it's like, don't treat someone who wants you and your way of life to blah, blah, blah. Like, we're so twisted up and it's so just like, yeah, that fellow American is actually your enemy. They have a different idea than you. So they are bad and evil and wrong. And you should turn off your empathy and your emotions towards them. They're not a person anymore. We used to not openly tout things like that. And now it's like you're weak if you don't feel that way. And that is very, very scary.
It's a big change. Tell you guys about the Gelman team, and we're still talking about the fall and winter because since I've been talking about this, we've had dozens of people reach out to us at Gelman, say, hey, I heard Dave talking about this. I didn't realize that you could effectively sell a home or buy a home or do both. During the cold weather months, we thought that people wouldn't think the house was pretty. We thought that this, we thought that. That's what I thought the first time I met the Gelmans, and they educated me. They sell as many houses during the fall and winter as they do during the spring and summer, and they have strategies for it and, X, Y, Z and blah, blah, blah. And it all just made sense to me. So if you are interested in a real estate transaction, don't give it up until you talk to the Gelmans about getting it done before March or April. If you're interested in a March or April, and let's be honest, we don't know what's going to happen with your life in the next 6 months. We don't know what's going to happen with the real estate market or interest rates. But if that's where your head is, it's not too early to engage them now. They don't expect you to sign a contract right away. Make them earn being your real estate agents. If you want to find out what they think your home is worth right now, online, go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com, call 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign or to make an online donation, head to KMOX.com/events.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 251. Happy Tuesday. We have Attorney Brad Young at the top of the hour, which I'm really looking forward to. He's got several cases. He always does. And then there's so much going on today with politics and Trump and the Crown Prince of Saudi and the Epstein vote. And I really want to pick his brain about it. So he'll be here at the top of the hour. We have the Think Tank today, which is also great. We'll be able to talk about all these things with Steve Ellman and Donna Behringer. A new poll found that derogatory slurs are becoming less and less common. Gen Z does not find things like the F word offensive, and they curse more than we do, but they are offended by racist, sexist, and bigoted language and are very quick to call each other out.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of different than what I see on the internet.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. And like, who knows what's going on in these private group chats of young people. So I don't know. I don't know if I believe that story,
Okay.
I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay. A plane made an emergency landing after someone vaped weed and the crew inhaled it.
Okay.
Let me just say, I haven't said this in a long time.
Yep.
I hate potheads.
You haven't said that in a while.
And as you know, I typically eat a THC gummy every night. If I don't have somewhere to be or somewhere to go, it has replaced Lexapro for me. I'm a big believer in it. I'm a big believer in everyone's right to use cannabis however they want. But God, do I hate a pothead.
That's the police coming to shut you down.
Yeah, the 5-0, the popo.
Coming to censor you.
Do you feel me, though?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But I feel
Absolutely.
this way about anyone, and this is ironic because you know me, I'm Malibu Dave, but anyone who's too into anything.
Yeah. Anybody who bases their whole personality around
Yes.
this one thing that
Yes.
they do. It's like, can we have some multiple sides, people?
What else is interesting about you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there has to be something else that you love or have interest in.
Well, and what kind of person does it take to, first of all, like, why are you vaping on the plane? Why are you vaping anything on the plane?
You just couldn't wait.
You can go 4 hours or however long your flight is. And then, to use cannabis like that. And then I don't want the flight attendant being high. I don't want the pilot getting I don't know how much of a contact high you can get from the vape.
Yeah, I wouldn't think
Vapors
much.
or whatever. But I see why they decided to not carry on with the situation.
Yeah.
There's better safe than sorry, I suppose.
The first Bitcoin purchase was made on May 22nd of 2010. Whew, this hurts. When a developer bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins, which would now be worth $1 billion.
I know. I love that.
Wow.
When I was researching Bitcoin years ago, and this is before it was even up this high, I found a YouTube video of somebody from around that time who bought a Subway sandwich with a Bitcoin. And I looked it up, and even at that time, it was like 190. This is before kind of the huge jump.
Right.
It was like $195 million worth of Bitcoin that this guy spent at Subway sandwich is on like a 6-inch sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
Sounds pretty good, though. Here's an interesting fact I was completely unaware of. When the Hindenburg crashed, you got it in your mind?
Yep.
We've all seen the Hindenburg crash. In 1937, 62 of the 97 people on board survived. The last survivor died at 92 years of age in 2014.
Whoa.
I assumed everyone died.
Yeah, I mean, the image that I have in my mind is it crashing into a fireball.
Yes.
Well, didn't we just kind of call it quits on the whole airship thing after that? Wasn't that kind of the idea of we're not going to
and I wonder
carry on with this?
Yeah, and I wonder, like, was that a valid choice?
I mean, now that I know people survived, maybe they could have kept going.
I would love to ride on one of those.
I wouldn't on a bet.
A rigid airship. You wouldn't do it?
Oh, God, no.
What if you didn't know about the Hindenburg and someone's like, look at my rigid airship?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No. I am not adventurous. Just not. So, you guys, about First Missouri Credit Union. And if you've heard me do a live for them before, you're going to know what I'm going to say. There's nothing new, but you don't really need new stuff when you got great stuff that's been around for a couple of years. They are still doing 4.27% on their checking. I don't check the papers every day to make sure this is accurate. But the last time I checked, which was about 3 months ago, most banks in St. Louis were offering about 4.05% on certificates of deposit, which you have to leave alone, sort of like a 401k. And if you take it out, then you're going to have to pay, some penalty, what have you. At First Missouri Credit Union, you can put up to $100,000 in your checking account and earn 4.27% every day, all year. When you need to take out a loan, or maybe your kids or even your grandkids looking at an older car, by older I mean 5 years, most banks will not finance that, but we will at First Missouri and give you a great rate, because all of the quote unquote profit we make, we just put that back in to buy down the loans. 2 locations down on Lee May Ferry, 314-544-5050, the number 1 stmocu.org.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today, and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com during the Genesis Signature Event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
At 3 o'clock, it is 65 degrees, mostly cloudy sky downtown at the Arch.
CBS News special report. The House has passed a bill related to the Epstein files. CBS's Torian Small is on Capitol Hill.
We saw a 427-1. That is a pretty resounding vote in the affirmative for this bill. Near unanimous. The one lawmaker defector in this is Clay Higgins, a Republican from Louisiana, who's also part of the Freedom Caucus.
The bill would require the Justice Department to release all unclassified records, documents, communications, and investigative materials related to the case, which Representative Raskin says is a necessity.
We must expose everyone who covered up these crimes.
The bill now goes to the Senate. If it passes there, the president now says he will sign it, which is confusing to some Epstein survivors.
While I do understand that your position has changed on the Epstein files, and I'm grateful that you have pledged to sign this bill, I can't help to be skeptical of what the agenda is.
CBS News special report. I'm Stacy Lynn.
St. Louis firefighters are on the scene of a one-alarm fire in the 1400 block of North Market by North 14th Street. Fire Captain Garen Mosby.
Occupied two-story brick. Heavy fire on the second floor. You saw it moments ago, primarily showing from the rear, extending through the roof.
As of now, no reports of injuries or a cause. If you're in the downtown area, there is a heavy smell of smoke and haze. Sheriff Alfred Montgomery's trial to remove him from office is postponed after the judge overseeing his federal criminal case made no decision on whether to release him from detention to allow him to attend. Montgomery's attorneys are currently meeting with the judge seeking a resolution.
I asked the sheriff's attorney, David Mason, if he hopes to get an answer as to whether or not Sheriff Alfred Montgomery will be released for his trial at this meeting.
Well, of course we all do, but the judge has a lot that he has to deal with. We can't just look into his mind and take control of his docket.
If the judge does grant the motion and allow Sheriff Alfred Montgomery his release to stand trial will begin at 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. However, if he elects not to, the quo warranto against Sheriff Alfred Montgomery remains in limbo. Outside the Civil Courts building, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
St. Louis County is moving forward with plans to relocate its government headquarters from downtown Clayton to St. Anne. County Executive Sam Page's office tells the Post-Dispatch negotiations are underway to move about 600 employees to the crossings at Northwest, the site of the former Northwest Plaza Mall. The move is driven by a 2028 deadline to install fire sprinklers in the current Roos building or vacate the premises. Officials say the relocation process would take about 2 years to complete. The House Judiciary Committee has sent the Senate a bill that would force the Justice Department to release files relating to the late convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein.
That's the gavel and cheers after the House voted 427-1 to pass the bill with Epstein survivors inside the chamber. House Speaker Mike Johnson says it doesn't protect survivors.
There are serious deficiencies in the legislation.
But there was anger from California Democrat Jimmy Gomez.
The Speaker of the House just lied on the floor by stating that there was protection. The gentleman will suspend.
Allison Keys, CBS News, Washington.
From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Panera Bread says it cut too deeply on staffing and quality, and now it's trying to fix it. The Fenton-based chain, known here as St. Louis Bread Company, is announcing a new strategy to renovate older cafes and hire more workers, making sure that customers can order from a person instead of a kiosk if they'd prefer. The Wall Street Journal reports Panera aims to grow annual sales to $7 billion by 2028 by reversing the cost-cutting measures of the past few years. The world's biggest beer company Company is making a huge bet on Party Punch. Anheuser-Busch is in talks to buy Beatbox Beverages in a deal that could be worth $700 million, the Wall Street Journal reports. You might know Beatbox for colorful, high-alcohol drinks sold in cardboard cartons. It's a massive hit with younger drinkers. AB is trying to chase the Gen Z crowd, which are increasingly swapping traditional beer for ready-to-drink cocktails. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index. Here is Stifel's Scott Bedell.
Good afternoon, Michael. Hello, everyone. After a very poor opening first hour, stock indices came off their lows during the midday, only to lose ground in the final hour. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 498 points, or a little bit more than 1% at 46,091. The Standard & Poor's 500 index also lower by 0.8% at 6,617, while the NASDAQ Composite Index lost another 1.2% to 22,432. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index turned in the best performance today, gaining 0.25% at 1,536. Helping that index to move higher, Spire gained 1.6% at $86.16. Stifel Financial added 0.5% at $116.80. Reinsurance Group of America up 1.4% to $186.69. On the downside, Boeing fell a little over 1% at $189.63, while Energizer tumbled 18.5% to close at $19.44. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, we invite you to visit our website at stifel.com.
The southerly flow is back for a quick visit this afternoon. That's why we've warmed up. Partly sunny skies. The high should be pretty close to 70 degrees. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, 47. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, 61 degrees. Wednesday night, clouds take control. A couple of showers late night Wednesday night, 50. Then a fairly strong weather system comes in here for Thursday. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms around 66. And I want to keep it wet. Showers and thunderstorms Thursday night and into Friday, though the weekend looks great. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Right now, clouds and 65. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers and important decisions should not be based solely on advertising.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
DGS on KMOX, few minutes past 3 p.m. Attorney Brad Young joins us. Hello, Brad.
Hey, Dave.
So much to talk about today. Oh, my Lord. Oh, the giveaway. Yes. We are doing a giveaway this week. We are giving away Foreigner and Leonard Skinner tickets. They are going to play Hollywood Casino Amphitheater next year, August 6th. If you're caller number 7, 314-436-7900 or 800-925-1120. You will get 2 tickets to Foreigner and Leonard Skinner at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, and you'll be talking to Andrew, so make sure you're nice to him. Okay, let's start with the Epstein case. I have been dying to talk to you. In fact, I almost texted you yesterday, but I didn't want to bug you. I think
text me anytime. It's fine.
I think one of the reasons at least, that Biden didn't do anything with the Epstein files is because it was sealed, because it was under investigation. And the fact that Trump initiated a DOJ investigation against Bill Clinton and Larry Summers and all that, isn't that going to abrogate the release of any files, even if they pass a law?
Boy, I don't think so. I think the statute would override that.
Okay.
I would need to do a deep dive into that. And off the top of my head, though, I think that the
the law as passed would override the fact that it's under seal, because the statute, the Congress would have to follow the law as passed. I'm sorry, the courts would have to follow the law as passed. And so if there was a specific law like this one that just passed, would override the seal that would be placed on the investigation. Now, again, I need to do a little research on that, but I'll text you when I'm finished with that.
Okay. Yeah, that seemed like it to me. Go ahead, Rachel.
Well, Brad, this isn't really a legal question, so maybe this is an unfair question, but maybe you've been able to find the answer on this. What changed between last week when it's, the president was lobbying folks to not release the files, and then yesterday when he did a 180? Do we know? Do we know like what caused that? Because I haven't been able to find a reason for that.
Well, there's been no stated reason, but I think we know exactly what the reason is, and it's the reason that we've talked about here last week and last month and several months ago, and that is this just is not going away. It's never going to go away, and I don't think even this law is passed is going to make it go away, because even though there may or may not be any fire here, there's a lot of smoke. And that smoke is really just grasping the public's attention. And so unless Trump had some sort of cover, he just can't keep saying, I don't want to talk about it. Because then every press conference is dominated with this. Every time he meets with a foreign official, it's dominated by Epstein. And so he has to have cover. And this gives him political cover by saying, Congress passed a law, I signed it. Whatever it is that Congress put in the law, I didn't draft the law, so I'm going to abide by whatever Congress says. And it allows him to dodge the bullet. Sorry to use that term given his past, but I think it's his political cover, and he's realized he had to get it.
So, Brad, you're one of my best conservative friends, and I wanted to ask you about what happened today in the Oval Office. First of all, just rolling out the red carpet, literally and figuratively, for the Crown Prince of Saudi. And then when an ABC, decades-long White House correspondent asked about Khashoggi and about the Epstein files, Trump goes off and says, you're not only a terrible reporter, you're a terrible person. And we're going to look into having ABC's license pulled, which now several Republican politicians have put that into motion. And then on the Khashoggi question said that everyone in the world respects MBS, but a lot of people didn't like Khashoggi and things happen. He is my president. I'm not one of those people like with Biden. He is my president. I expect more from him. I'm just wondering how that hit you.
Well, there's actually several issues there to unpack. First, there's the issue of Khashoggi, and should that be an issue? I believe it's a legitimate issue to raise. However, on the flip side, if we were to not maintain cordial relationships with countries that do bad things, we could not have a relationship with any country, including ourselves. Okay, including ourselves. So I don't know that in of itself is a basis to not do business with the Saudis. Look at what Mossad has done. Oh my goodness. But we support Israel, and I'm in full agreement of supporting Israel. So even though it's a legitimate question, I don't think that it's a basis upon which to sever ties with Saudi Arabia. The bigger issue, though, is this idea that you can threaten the licensing of a network simply based on a legitimate political question. And that is absurd, and it's profoundly dangerous. Because if you allow, and I don't think the courts would ever allow this, not this current Supreme Court, not any court, would allow the president to have the license of a network pulled based upon simply asking a question at a press conference. I don't see it ever happening. And if it did happen, the courts would reverse it so quickly. If you want to see a 9-0 decision at the Supreme Court, go forward with this, because John Roberts and Alito and Ketanji Brown Jackson would all be singing from the same hymnal when it comes to not allowing the president to pull a license based upon a question they didn't like.
So one of the stories you have today is national security blocks Epstein files release.
Yeah, and this is why I think all of everything that we saw today, I think is really just I don't want to call it a psyop because that sounds conspiratorial. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I don't think that this has any relevance other than to try to pass the buck. Because if in this bill that was passed, it allows Attorney General Biondi to, and I'm quoting here, make a determination that covered information may not be declassified and made available in a manner that protects the national security of the United States, unquote. So in essence, if there's anything in any of the files that the Attorney General says, you know what, we obtained this information in a certain way, they don't have to jump through those hoops. If she just doesn't like something that's in the Epstein files, she can slap a classification on it, state that the manner in which the U.S. obtained this information is covert, and so therefore we can't reveal it, and then it doesn't get disclosed. Now there has to be a summary about that information if anything is classified, but who writes the summary? The Attorney General, and it's non-reviewable. So I really just see this as an opportunity for the president, for Republicans, for Democrats, even because there's a lot of Democrats. Bill Clinton is rumored to be in these files. Larry Summers, lots of Democrats and Republicans. This is just a way for Washington to protect itself, and it's not really going to achieve anything, I don't think.
I I had a theory this morning, Brad, that lasted about 3 hours. My theory was that very rich people, and I'm not talking about your friend who hit it in real estate and has $5 million. I'm talking about big time billionaires, oligarch kind of people, that they are analogous to NATO in that an attack on one is attack on all, and they circle the wagons. But then seeing that the right is saying, hey, Clinton, Larry Summers, it seems to have more to do with party than it does money.
Well, the best analysis that I've read on this week was a piece from The Atlantic, which talked about the title was Eyes Wide Shut is Real. And the idea, Eyes Wide Shut, that was the Tom Cruise movie that came out in 99. And it was very salacious sexually. And it showed all these people who didn't get along with each other politically, but all the powerful would get together and do weird stuff. And I think we've seen that with Epstein and with other situations. And listen, the only thing that's stronger than a political bind is, I think, money. And so with all of these rich and powerful people, I think you're right, Dave, that they're going to hang together, even if they completely disagree with each other politically. They're going to hang together because it's in their interest to protect the rich and powerful.
So go ahead, Rich.
I mean, yeah, you're so right. It might be power, it might be money, but what it definitely is not about is protecting the victims or listening to the victims, hearing them out in any way. I mean, it's just so disgusting that gets completely lost in the shuffle of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's all about like everyone
absolutely.
covering their butts in the situation.
Last topic, bringing it back to home, the continuing saga of Sheriff Montgomery. I guess they had the quo warranto scheduled for today, but someone forgot to wake him up, and he couldn't make it to court. What? I mean, this is just getting ridiculous.
No, there's actually a little bit more substance to it. I was geared up today to follow this trial. And just to give a quick refresher, in case someone has been on Epstein's Island and hasn't heard about what's going on, our sheriff, not only has the Attorney General's office brought this quo warranto action against him to have him removed from office, but he's also in federal custody over in Illinois on charges related to witness retaliation, witness tampering, deprivation of rights by handcuffing people he didn't like, lots of things. So the trial was supposed to start today, but it couldn't start because Montgomery himself wasn't there. And the reason he wasn't there, at least according publicly reported, is that the federal authorities, the federal court, did not approve of him being released from federal custody to show up at his state trial. And so they're trying to work that out right now. And if it doesn't happen, and it's rescheduled for tomorrow, and if Montgomery isn't released from the Fed Gray Bar Motel tomorrow, then one of two things are going to happen. Either this is going to go to trial without him, which I think gives him a basis for an appeal, and maybe overturning, even if it's going against him. Or secondly, it gets postponed until the federal court gets around to deciding whether or not they'll release him into custody in order to show up for the state trial.
Everything would you bet your own $10 on he ends up in jail on a sentence, or you think that this thing goes away somehow?
Oh, I would bet upwards of $27 that he goes to prison on the federal charges because the evidence is overwhelming. And the feds always like to prosecute this political malfeasance. We've seen it, between the St. Louis County executive and the governor of Illinois, there's dedicated prison cells for these positions. And I see him serving a lot of time in federal prison.
What I'm about to say is just gossip. This is not from the KMOX newsroom, but I recently met someone who knows the sheriff, and they said that this was his first real job. I know he's a young guy, but they said he just hasn't had a real job before this, which doesn't excuse anything, but it adds to sort of why it's interesting.
It gives you an explanation as to why he's buying big gold badges and why he's buying new cars to pick his kids up from daycare. He wants to show off he's got this position, and that really, really does make sense. If you look at who the interim sheriff is, it's someone who was a former police chief in the city. They've got experience, got knowledge, savvy. I would really like to see him stay in the role.
Thank you, Brad.
My pleasure.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer: an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
Tell you guys about my buddy, Dr. Corey Solman. Just had someone here at work, one of my coworkers, who was having a knee problem. And I told her, you got to go to Solman. He's the best. I called, greased the wheels, got her in. She's doing a, arthroscopic thing to check it all out and clean it all out and stuff. She just raved and raved about him, how nice he was. So I guess I'm just using that as an illustration to show that I'm not lying all the time when I talk about how great Corey is, his bedside manner, whether it's you, an adult, it's your kids who maybe tore something playing soccer or, kick the can or whatever, or an elderly loved one who may need a hip replacement or a knee replacement. No one's going to be better in the operating room, and no one's going to come close to him in the consultation room. He's going to make everyone feel comfortable with what's going on, and if he can avoid surgery, he will. He's out in Chesterfield now. You can call him at 636-231-5881 or SolmanOrthopedics.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Roger, tell us about your experience working with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
We just had a very fine experience with the work that 3-Day Kitchen and Bath had done on our home. They had taken out walls and put in a new kitchen and a new bath, and did it in an extremely timely manner with some of the finest workers that we've been associated with. Easy to work with. They did what we asked them to do. And each of the subs that they had, whether it was putting in the bath, the shower stalls, and they came in a timely manner. plumber was here on time. The electricians were here when they said they would be here, and things just worked out really well for us. And I've done it myself, and it'll probably take me 2 years.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
After a disaster, emotional recovery takes time. Show Me Hope, Missouri offers free, confidential support wherever you are. Call or text 1-800-985-5990 and connect with a local crisis counselor today. From Missouri Department of Mental Health.
This is Carol Daniel. I'm so proud to be part of KMOX's 100 years of broadcasting excellence. Congratulations.
I'm sorry, my computer is continuously crashing.
I'm just glad I don't have Alzheimer's yet. I was like, damn, I think she just played this.
I also was like, I already kind of had this song in my head.
I was grooving to this already.
I think I can see the future.
Another nail in the coffin for my Alzheimer's. Let's all just watch it happen. You know what leads to Alzheimer's?
Wearing a beanie?
Friggin' cold sores.
Do you get those?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I have it in the last couple of years because of Smart Mouth, just to add an ad in there. But yep. Since high school.
It leads to Alzheimer's, or it's like an indicator that you'll get it?
It's a mechanism.
Okay.
It like delivers it somehow.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got that to look forward to. The only downside to cold sores.
Yeah. No, nothing else bad about them.
Give you Alzheimer's. You guys heard the term parasocial?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. I never heard it.
I have many parasocial relationships.
Yeah. Can you explain it to the folks?
Yeah, it's like say you listen to like a podcast or whatever, or like you watch like a YouTuber or whatever, and you just like,
or the show,
or I mean, it could be said the show, not to call anybody out or whatever. But like if you think you hear a lot about them and you learn a lot about their life, or at least what they're presenting to you as their life. They don't even know, like, you know, they've never seen you. They've maybe never heard your name or whatever. And so it builds this one-sided relationship that feels social, but it's not actually necessarily social because it's just one-sided. It's just, you know, a bunch about this. You know this person's birthday and what city they live in, and you know what their wife's name is, and you know what their dog's name is, and you know what they do for fun or whatever. But the other person doesn't really know anything about you.
I have that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have that with celebrities and stars and people I've never met. But like when, say, for example, they're on the show, I really feel like I know them.
Yeah. I have it with, you know, streamers I watch, you know, podcasts you listen to. Really, it's almost impossible to not, by definition, not develop one just as you get to know somebody through consuming the content they make. But they don't know you because, you know, you're just consuming their side of it.
Well, especially shows like this, which are so intimate, and especially someone like me who says things I shouldn't say. It's one thing to think that you're good friends with Katie Couric, but, you know, why did her name come up in my brain?
Know.
That fascinates me.
Know.
Like, it's just a stream of consciousness.
He's got a crush.
It could have been Pinocchio or Rumpelstiltskin, but somehow my brain goes, you know, it'd be funny, Katie Couric.
Well, the big three.
Crush.
Did you guys hear the Rumpelstiltskin when you were little?
Yeah, he's the one. He's the troll that lives under the bridge.
No, he's the one who steals
kids,
and you have to know his name
That's
to
a
defeat
troll.
him. He's a troll.
Yeah, he lives under a bridge, probably. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, he lives under a
You're
bridge.
thinking of the guy that loved to eat billy goats.
Yeah, that's Billy Goat Gruff.
Who's
And-
the one that went to sleep for a long time?
That's Sleeping Beauty.
Nope, that's
No.
Rip Van Winkle.
That's Rip Van Winkle. Rumpelstiltskin
He
had
dates
Did
Rumpelstiltskin.
he have the loom, or am I making that up?
Yeah.
There was something about a loom.
Yeah, right,
He just
right.
like laid down under a bridge, and a bunch of leaves fell on him, and he went to sleep.
Now we're all talking about different stories now.
Is that Rip Van Winkle? Is that what he did?
I think so.
Yeah, someone had someone kidnapped spinning gold.
That
That was Sleeping Beauty.
Was it? Well, who spun the gold?
I thought it was Rumpelstiltskin because he wanted
I
the
don't
know.
Know.
But in order to defeat him and
had to
save
know his
everybody,
name.
you had to know what his
And
name
then
was.
the dumbass.
And he had a crazy name.
The dumbass lit a fire, danced around, and sang a song called "My Name Is Rumpelstiltskin."
Yeah.
And they're like, I think we know.
Yeah, it's like if you had a bird that you taught to talk and it just, kept saying your name.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Story Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Story Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Really can't stop singing the praises of the Schnucks Rewards app. I have been telling you guys about this for literally years at this point. But you really need to download the Schnucks Rewards app if you haven't already. First of all, when you use it, you earn 2% cash back on every single purchase. When I heard that, I was immediately sold. So I'm going to get money back for buying my groceries. Perfect. But there's a ton of other ways to spend money to save money as well. There's digital offers and coupons you can take advantage of. They even have personal savings based on what you typically buy at Schnucks. And there's a bunch of conveniences in the app as well. You can check out the weekly ads, so you don't have to worry about, picking that up in the store. You can browse from home. You can make your shopping list right there on the app. You can even order curbside pickup or delivery straight from the app. So go download it today. It's called the Schnucks Rewards app. Look for that in your app store. It's free. It's easy to sign up, and you will be so happy that you did.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Traffic from the MichaelsFloorandOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Traffic reports a service of the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. One of them is a crash, South 270. It's about midway between Page and Olive. The two left lanes are blocked. It's a solid jam back north of Dorset on South 270. Then it's slow again, approaching 44 down to Gravois. The right lanes on the exit to Gravois are blocked by an injury crash. And then there's a crash on the right shoulder, but EMS is responding, so they may block the right lane. Eastbound 255 just before Telegraph. Southbound Telegraph 255 down through at least Yeager is pretty solid. Southbound 55, Gasconade through Bates around Z. You've got the usual delays. Northbound 55 around 67, slow. Southbound 170 bogs down at Delmar. Westbound 64, Kings Highway out through Bellevue is heavy. Clayton Warson to 270, slow. But after that, it looks good in St. Charles County. Westbound 70, slow stuff past the airport in 79, most of the way out to Bryan Road. And westbound 64 is bogged down, approaching 158 into Greenmount. Times are always changing, but Penn Mutual stands the test of time. The 178-year Young Mutual Company is leading the way in life insurance. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Liu. Yes, Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Hey, just check the mail. We've been invited to a seminar and dinner is free.
It's gonna be chicken.
and it'll taste like Play-Doh.
Don't be fooled. All seminars are not the same. For example, Steve All, an investment advisor representative and founder of the All Financial Group, is hosting a taxes and retirement seminar at his office in Chesterfield on December 10th. Come meet Steve's newest advisor, Tracy Richardson, as she discusses the big beautiful bill, taxes on your Social Security, and more. Tracy will not only cover the hurdles you can face in retirement, but ways to keep more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. This is a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
You know, hon, I've always been interested in us buying a timeshare.
I'd rather eat Play-Doh.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Friday night, it's men's Billikens basketball as they face Purdue Fort Wayne. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7 on your home for Billikens basketball. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. KMOX. 3:35 from this league heating and cooling weather desk. Dave Murray is here.
Hello there.
I said that off the top of my head. I didn't even have to read it.
There you go. That's good.
I'm a big boy now.
Especially since we missed it yesterday.
Yeah. No one noticed that but you. Shh, Dave. Shh. What were we going to ask Dave about? I don't like to rake my leaves, not only because the activity sucks, but I find it pretty. A lot of people disagree. And Rach looked it up and said that it's actually better for your lawn to keep your leaves on it. Have you heard this?
I've heard it. I don't agree with it all the way because there's a couple of things that can happen. Yes, if you want to leave them there, I'm okay with that. However, if we get snow and the snow stays on the ground for a while and those leaves are there, you get a disease called snow mold.
Wow.
And that can do a job on your lawn. So, I mean, do we have snow cover here in St. Louis for long periods of time? No, but occasionally we do.
Interesting.
And it can cause some problems. So it's a crapshoot.
Yeah. Gorgeous here today in St. Louis.
Yes, 70.
And Dave, for the very first time in my 25-year career, I am doing a broadcast with the windows open in the studio.
All right. Wow.
Because it's been so hot here. They can't get the HVAC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you look behind Rach, I don't know if you can see it on her camera, but
I can.
The windows are open.
Are you getting a lot of road noise or anything? Or
it's funny because Steve's like, now we're in St. Louis. So if it gets loud, we're like, yeah, we're in St. Louis. I don't think it's going to get loud. But we've had a couple sirens. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's like the weathercast here.
Yeah.
You get snoring dogs.
Sure. You never know.
Trash trucks coming through.
You never know.
It's life. It's life.
Kind of love. I mean, I know I shouldn't because it's not, high broadcast quality, but I love the sounds. Of
I
the
do
city
too.
Coming in.
I do too.
Very nice.
David changes tomorrow, right? Or tonight?
Yeah. It's really tomorrow is a slow transition day. It's a slow moving low pressure system that's going to take hold. It almost becomes a cutoff low. So it kind of gets stuck in the Midwest. Now, before we get to that, there are thunderstorms developing to our south, primarily south of a Farmington-Carbondale line. Some of those could be severe this evening. So think southeast Missouri, southern Illinois. They do not reach up into the St. Louis area, but they're out there way to the south. Tomorrow, mainly just a cloudy day, partly to mostly cloudy, 60 degrees, about 10 degrees cooler. Late night showers Wednesday night. I think that's after midnight. Could be well after midnight. Thursday, periods of rain. Some thunderstorms around 65. Periods of rain Thursday night, 53. And Friday, periods of rain, 59 on Friday. So a really wet stretch Thursday night, and Friday. A persistent, widespread, somewhat soaking rain should be able to get this thing out in time for the weekend.
Okay. Excellent.
And tomorrow.
Yes.
Winter forecast.
Very
for St.
excited.
Louis, right here. on
Very
the Dave
excited.
Glover Show.
You know, I fear the winter forecast the least. Like there's almost nothing you can say that's going to upset me. If you said it's going to be really cold in January, I'd be like, right on. Now, when it's 5 degrees, my butt's freezing off. But in general, as you know, because we've talked about this many times, I would way prefer it be 45 than 85.
In the wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. The winter forecast scares me the most.
Yeah, because it's so difficult to do.
It's very difficult to do. People tend to remember the winter forecast.
True.
Especially white Christmas, green Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a two-edged sword for me. But you know what? I enjoy doing it. Been doing it a long time. So
yes.
Bring it on.
How early in your career, if ever, did you kind of reconcile and make friends with, I'm in a business that people get mad at?
Okay. I mean, no, I don't get upset about it. You know, people want to get mad at me. I understand that. You know, it's weather forecasting. Most of the time, it's going to work out just fine. There is a problem with weather forecasting where you could have the forecast right on the money, but somebody's having an event and they don't want it to rain, even though you've told them it's going to rain.
Yeah.
And then it rains and they go, wrong forecast. Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah. The whole joke about, hey, Dave, thanks for the good weather. Or, hey, Matt Chambers, blah, 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 blah. It's a real thing. Like,
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You start to attribute it to whoever you're watching.
Yeah, exactly. And that's an honor to some extent. That means that for the most part, they're believing what you're saying.
Yeah. So true.
That means a heck of a lot to me.
Oh, I just thought of something that Donald Trump said in the last day that I agree with. Let's balance this out. Because I crapped on him a lot today. He said that the filet of fish needed more tartar sauce. And I agree. We're simpatico on that.
I just saw that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also saw that weird thing that he said where he was like, they said, why is it called the Gulf of Mexico? I said, we got to change it. Change the Gulf of America. Maybe it has nothing to do with McDonald's. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird one.
Everybody in the crowd's like nervously laughing. I'm like, he didn't do that for us, did he?
Headlines, Rach?
Brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. Americans are planning on spending less this holiday season. Nearly 1/3 of Americans are spending less on holiday decorations than they did last year. And economic uncertainty is the main reason for their spending changes. 56% of respondents said they're really trying to save money. So reducing both holiday decoration purchases and gift spending this year.
You know what I don't have a good hold on? I'm not one of those guys that doesn't know what a gallon of milk costs. I do all my own grocery shopping. I understand all of that. But the fact that I wear used clothes, I have no idea what clothes should cost. So when I go Christmas shopping, like for the girls and stuff, and a blouse is $300, I'm like looking around like, is this a joke? Like, I don't understand what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, it all depends on like the different brands they like and stuff. But yeah, I get what you mean. It would be very confusing if you had like never been clothes shopping before and then you go to the mall and it's like, wait, what's reasonable? What's not reasonable here?
Yeah.
Roblox is going to require all of their users to verify their age with facial recognition in order to access the chat features. This begins next month, and it's aimed to limit conversations to similar age groups. I'm sure you've heard the commercials airing on KMOX about the fact that Roblox has become like a predator's dream, basically. Lots of children are being preyed upon in this game. So they're just now finally kind of doing something about that. I don't think it's nearly enough. I also think I don't have kids, so, you know, everyone can get mad at me. I don't think your kid needs to be chatting online before they're a certain age, even if it is, you know, with other 8-year-olds. I think it's probably just a bad idea, but what do I know, right?
Totally agree.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Ex-Harvard President Larry Summers has taken a step back from his public roles after the release of these Epstein emails. He was communicating with Jeffrey Epstein up until the day before he was arrested in 2019. says, I'm deeply ashamed of my actions and recognize the pain they have caused. Very interesting that you now feel ashamed now that you have been found out.
And it's also very interesting that he's so ashamed of his relationship with Epstein that he's going to take a step back publicly, but he's going to continue teaching classes at Harvard. That doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. He's still listed as a member of the ChatGPT OpenAI board as well. He joined that in 2023. So we'll see if he remains a director there. But obviously, Larry Summers was a former U.S. Treasury Secretary. So we got that going for us here in the U.S. X users faced an early morning outage. I did not notice this. I was on X from like 2 to 4 this morning. I couldn't sleep and I was just looking at stuff on Twitter. It didn't affect me, but a lot of people noticed. And it was because of this Cloudflare provider causing issues with website performance and security. This also happened with ChatGPT, among some other platforms, but services were restored early this morning. The cause of the outages is not clear at this time.
Well, I couldn't understand less about everything you just said. The Cloudflare.
It got my interest. Cloudflare.
Yeah.
Wow, what's that?
I love weather stuff. Cloudflare. We'll do one more story here because we're pretty late in this segment. The Bezoses, Lauren and Jeff, are funding the Met Gala, aka the Oscars of Fashion. Organizers announced on Sunday the couple will be partially funding the 2026 Met Gala and its Costume Institute exhibition at the Met. The chosen theme for the 2026 event is costume art.
Does the Met Gala raise money for something good?
I think just the Met itself. Which is like, okay, I get you want to raise money for your organization, but it's such a disgusting display of wealth. And I don't understand like the regular people who enjoy watching it at this point. Like I watch it and I just don't, it's so different than my life. And it's like everyone's walking the red carpet as if their dress is changing lives. And look, I like fashion. I like fashion a lot, but it just feels very wrong in this day and age to me.
I agree. Thank you, Dave. We appreciate it.
You got it.
Reminding you guys that we are 1 week into Operation Food Search in Hardee's. In the first week, you guys raised $7,800 by going to Hardee's and giving $1 or $5 or $10 or $20 to get the new DGS 25th anniversary sticker. We hope that between now and Christmas Eve, you will continue to be generous. And whenever you have that conversation at work or at home, and what should we get? Stop by Hardee's, get yourself something delicious. We